friends, happy WIP Wednesday. Oh, I haven't been whipping very much. I've been doing a lot of like just paper crafting because it's been, for me, it's mindless. I don't really have to put much thought or concentration into it. I can just go with it. I did start back up on the baby blanket last night. I'm struggling. I'm not going to lie. I'm on the struggle bus. So as you know, I am using this Sweet Roll Frosty from Premier in the colorway. What color are you? Iced coffee. So I'm using that. I only have 2 of these. They're 245 yards each. If you remember last week, I started on a, excuse me, my throat is so dry. I started with like a shell stitch type pattern. That was supposed to be an easy baby blanket. But as I kept going through with it and kept going, I couldn't do it. My sides were going up like this and I was losing my stitches, and I was like, okay. It's an easy stitch if you have full brain power for it. Right now, as you know, I don't with everything going on. And I did find out yesterday because I contacted the lady who did the last interview for Mom's long-term care. And she said they just received the medical records yesterday. So that took over 2 weeks to get them. And they said that she said she will try and get to our case and give me some answers by the end of next week. And the operative word there is try. We've been going since the middle of January. They said it's usually a 45-day process. Everybody I have talked to has said otherwise for these long-term care cases. So we're being patient in the waiting, as patient as we can. And it's hard, like I said, because things with her are getting more and more concerning and more difficult. And I'm at the point where I cannot give her the care that she needs. So enough said on that. Let's go back to my crochet whip. So like I said, that pattern from last week, I had to stop with it. I couldn't do it anymore. I needed something that I didn't need to think about, right? I tried this pattern, I tried that pattern, this pattern, and that pattern, and nothing was working. So then I was like, you know what? We're just going to go with the trusty old Suzette stitch, which is also apparently noted as the grit stitch. That was really embarrassing. I was trying to avoid that. I am so sorry. Anyways, yeah, so I decided to just go ahead and go with that. This is where we are at. It is bowing just a tiny bit, which I've had this happen in the past. I've had it happen in the past, and you just have to trust the process. I am using a much bigger hook. I'm using a 6mm hook. And it calls for a 5.5. So I guess I could have went up to 6.5 and I would have been okay too, but that's where we are at on it. I haven't gotten very far. But, I mean, what can you do, right? So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep trusting the process. It's not bowing horribly. It's not that bad. So I'm just going to keep trusting the process, because usually what happens is if you keep your stitches nice and loose, the weight of the blanket is going to kind of even it out. So between that and then probably putting a border on it, I should be okay. Like I said, I only have 2 of these. This is where I'm at on this one. So I don't know. I need to figure out another yarn to use for the border on this that's gonna match. But yeah, I don't know. If I have to rip this out again, I'm gonna honestly scratch the blanket for a month or 2. I have till August. I have till August when she's due. So I just need to find out from my best friend. I'm sure she's going to fly down there to Georgia when the baby's born, because that's her 2nd grandbaby. So I just need to find out from her. And then I also need to find out from her if she is coming out this summer or not. She did say she was going to potentially come out this year and visit. So I don't know. I'm going to just keep trusting the process on this blanket and let it run its course. Because quite honestly, I'm tired of frogging a project. But, sorry, I was trying to take care of something. But on yesterday's Twinchy Tuesday, I know a lot of you have seen my video for that already. As I was sitting here wrapping up the night, I realized it's St. Patrick's Day, and I should have done Twinchies for St. Patrick's Day, right? So I did put a post up on my post tab. However, I know stuff is getting lost in the post tab because comments are getting lost, and yeah. So just a real quick recap. I did do 3 St. Patrick's Day Twinchies before I called it a night last night. So I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you are one that does Twinchy Tuesday or makes Twinchies. Is everything you look at now like, oh, that could be a Twinchy? That could be a Twinchy. Yeah, I'm going through that as I'm cleaning my craft area up. I'm like, oh, those houses would be super cute on a Twinchy because I'm going to be cutting these out later. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I mean, I will get back to my crochet. I will get back to crocheting like I used to. It's just right now, mentally, I need a little bit of a break from crochet. So that's why I'm not doing very much. I might actually want to rip this blanket out. I don't know. I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to stop looking at it. I'm going to trust the process. Yeah. So there's that. And then if you remember, I painted some of my own paper last week using watercolor paints. So I tested it out and I punched out 3 hearts, and I really like how they all look different and they all came out. So there's those. That's going to be also a work in progress. But my biggest work in progress right now is this craft room. It's a horrendous mess. You know, I went from having no space to really craft. I was having to share the 1,000 square foot apartment that we have in California with, well, at one point, you know, all of our kids were there, and then Levi, our grandson, was there, and my husband and I. So you can just imagine 1,000 square feet and all those people in one apartment, you know. And then one of them moved out on their own, got their own place. That was my son, who moved to Tennessee. And then the other one, well, she was forced to leave because of CPS. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my video from 2 weeks ago, maybe, when I came back from California. It was a real raw video. I had just gotten back that night, and I felt like I needed to address some stuff on the situation. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, go back and watch that one. Okay. What else? Yeah, so my brain's all over the place today. So yeah, that's just pretty much what I'm going to be working on. We are under another, well, I shouldn't say another, but this is like the biggest heat advisory we've had yet this year. Today we're supposed to get up to 96, and then 97 tomorrow, 98 on Friday, and then low 90s on the weekend, and it looks like low 90s to high 80s through next week. So our temperatures keep changing, but they're telling us right now that we are under a severe or extreme heat advisory or something like that for the high desert. And for those of you who are new to my channel, we are in the foothills of the mountains here in the high desert of Arizona. So our biggest worry right now with this heat is going to be rattlesnakes, scorpions, the cockroaches have been coming out. Yeah, those are an issue too outside. I went out on the back porch a couple of days ago and I saw this big long black thing just scurry out from under the house, and I was just, oof. So I have to put roach traps back there. I have them on the front porch and I have them all over the garage. But they absolutely hate those things, but they love cardboard. So if you have cardboard in your house and you have a roach problem, get rid of the cardboard. Because yeah, they love cardboard. We found that out when we first moved here. Or first bought this house, however you want to look at it. But yeah. So the fun. And I have to go out to Walmart because, like I said, I need to get this craft room under control. And to do that, I'm going to need to get another set of plastic drawers. So I think I'm going to get the bigger ones this time. The ones that are longer, not like the shorter ones like I have over there. I think I'm going to get just one of the longer dresser drawers and stick it under this craft table here. Yeah. But yeah. All right. That's all I have for you. I'm rambling. I'm going. Tomorrow I will be back for... What am I going to be back for tomorrow? Tomorrow, I think I'm going to do Come Collage with Us. And then I also have Duck dishcloth for tomorrow, which is... Let me just show you what I did. For the center of this week's dishcloth, I took one of my Swedish dishcloths and I cut it up to put it in the middle. The dishcloth for tomorrow is a awful sight to see, but I will still show it because I tried. So come back tomorrow for 2 videos, Come Collage with Us and Duck dishcloth. But for now, I'm going to go. I'm going to see what I can do about this blanket. Again, I might end up frogging it back, winding the yarn up, and I don't know. I'm going to trust the process for a couple more rows, though, and see what happens. So anyways, I'm going. Love, hugs, and prayers to you all. Stay safe, stay warm, stay cool, stay dry, whatever your weather is. I'm seeing it weird all over the place. Where my son lives in Tennessee, they went from having severe storms and thunder and lightning and heavy rain and tornado watches to the next day it was snowing and cold. To this weekend, it's going to be in the 80s. Anyways, so yes. All right, I'm going. I will see you all in the next video.